Hope you're having a great Christmas day. We are back with a 50% skill challenge versus a 9 skill crew. Today we are in the T20 Tier 7 American medium tank, and we are in airfield spawn on the east side. We're going to the middle of the map and see if we can spot anything on early in the game. Now, if you are here for the first time, please consider giving this a subscribe and turning on your notifications. It helps out my channel a lot, and please give this video a like if you have learned something or taken something positive from it, and let me thank you in advance for it. Now, we are quick enough to get into this bush, and that's exactly what we want to do. Check out the situation and see what we can spot around here. Now, usually there's going to be a bunch of people around here trying to look over and trying to get shots onto our side, but there doesn't seem to be anyone looking around here. But it looks like there's some brave souls crossing the opening there. Now, I'm gonna let that guy slide because that's just one guy, but there's another guy, and it looks like our artillery has taken interest in those targets, and we're gonna try and eliminate them. But I didn't realize that this wheeled tank is actually blocking my shot, and unfortunately I couldn't get any kind of shots out of that guy. Now, we are in the 9 skill crew T20 here in the first game. If you don't know already, you can look at the view range circles on my mini map. You can see I have full vision here, and I can look all the way to the end, and he can't even spot me when I shoot at him. But basically, when I poked over to the middle and saw no one spotting from their base or trying to poke over in the middle of the map, it means there was an opportunity for us to push down on the southern side. Now, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to send it. We're going to go all the way. And why am I brave enough to go? Because, first of all, we are in a combat tank, a very capable combat tank, and we are actually top tier. Now, with this tank, you have 160 penetration on the standard shells, which I can use most of the time in a matchup like this. There's no problem at all. Now, I sit here for a while, try to look for targets, but again, confirmation that there's no one in the middle. So what does that mean? That means I'm going to send it even more, full send. We're going to go right to their base or right to the back, and this is when we put our put what we learned into practice. Our stealth, vision, mobility. We are using the trees here, the bush here, for a bit of stealth. Now, I kind of underestimated this guy. Is it a Cheeto or whatever? A Japanese medium tank. Looks like he's got the penetration to take care of my turret, no problem. And I kind of miscalculated that. I didn't think that tank was so deadly in terms of its penetration. In fact, it was probably firing. Was he firing premium shells? I'm not sure, but I didn't realize how much penetration he had, and he could actually take me on better if he protected. If he was more hull down and tried to wiggle a little bit more, he could have had a little bit more success taking my HP down. But here I am. I've got the shots on these guys. I'm in the bush, but I did get spotted by this tank destroyer, and looks like he's going to close down the distance. While he's doing that, I'm going to try and wither him down with my 160 penetration on my standard shells. Now, this tank has 243 penetration on the APCR shells, which is pretty good. The only other tank that is comparable to this would be the Italian P43, which has 165 penetration on the AP shells, but in the premium shells it only has 195 penetration or something like that. Compared to this, which has 243, this thing is pretty amazing. It is, I'll be honest with you, this is one of the best tanks in tier 7. In my live account, I actually 3-marked this tank pretty easily, and by accident, of course. I didn't mean to 3-mark it. It's just that I enjoyed playing this tank so much. The 3-mark just happened naturally in the course of myself enjoying and playing this tank a lot. So no doubt in my mind, this tank is really good. You don't need a 9 skill crew to make this tank super deadly. In fact, I think a majority of my games was played in this tank with a 3 skilled crew, so that is sufficient enough to carry you through the grind, or even if you're trying to mark the tank and get the 3 marks out of this tank, it's not going to be a problem with a 3 skilled crew. Now this is just buttoning up the game, finishing it off, getting some extra damage here. Looks like that Super Hellcat has got the drop on me, so he gets the first shot, but he is under attack and under a lot of pressure. He's trying to chase me down perhaps. Maybe I get another shot out of him. I don't finish him off, so I'm a bit worried here that he might get the kill shot on me, but it looks like he doesn't even bother. He's just given up, and I couldn't even get the kill shot on him because someone has kept out the base. But this was my first game in this tank in this account, and very easily got a first class game in it. However much 1,000 damage I got into this game, it's it doesn't matter. What I was trying to say to you was I got the top gun, top damage, first class, and it was my first attempt at making this video, and already that's how easy this the T20 is to play. If you have it in your garage, it is a keeper. You want to put a 2-3 skill crew in this tank if possible. And now we are back on the same map, but on the western side of the map, this time 50% crew. You can see my view range in the green circle here, a lot less view range. Immediately I noticed that the tank is a little bit more sluggish in terms of mobility. It doesn't wiggle around as quickly, as snappy as it used to with a full crew. So that's the first thing that I noticed around here, but I'm going to still go and be aggressive because even though I'm not top tier, but I'm still a very capable combat tank, and looks like they've pushed on through onto the southern side. So what I'm going to do is just pre-aim here now. The gun performance wise, it doesn't look like it's aiming a lot worse. It is slightly slower, but because I'm still using the same equipment, probably vertical stabilizer and a rammer, it already helps out the accuracy and gun performance a lot. So the equipment is going to be more useful than crew skills here. Basically, the crew skills are going to help you with your view range, a little bit in your gun performance, gun handling, but more in your mobility and your view range. In my opinion, your view range, of course, you're going to lose like 50-100 meters of view range if you don't have crew skills. But in terms of mobility, you're still going to get up to your top speed. You're still going to be able to travel fast, reverse fast, but when you're wiggling around, it makes your mobility not so good. And also your aim time, you can see here, it is not as snappy, not as quick to aim, although it's just a fraction of a second. But when you are in a when you're in a tight situation, when you are in a brawling situation where you need your gun to be performing quickly and accurately, that's when it's going to be affecting you a little bit without the 9 skill crew, or without a 3-4 skill crew. With a 50% crew, it's not going to be as sharp, as effective, but you are still a very combat capable tank. Now if I had to make an assessment, I'm going to say this is one of those rare tanks that you can run a 50% skill or 75% skill crew in, not a problem at all, because it is so capable just being a T20. Now as soon as that T29 came forward, I was immediately there to help him out, to push the King Tiger off, because the two of us we are going to outgun this guy easily. T29 very capable, T20 very capable. Two of us can easily take on that Tiger C, but looks like that T29 is falling back. He doesn't want to push so far forward, so that's okay. I'm gonna see if I can get a little bit of a side scrape action going on here and see if I can stop that. He's thinking of going forward, but I'm gonna try and stop him there. He penetrates me and I penetrate him in the bottom tier, in the lower plate. But it looks like some guys are going over the top, so what I'm going to do is just back off myself here, and what I'm going to do is just climb up and see if I can support this T29. We're going to stop this guy from pushing over the top, and also I need to pay attention to that Tiger C on the beach. So what I'm going to go up here, I've decided to, I noticed this guy here on my left and it looks like an opportunity for me to HE penetrate him maybe. So I loaded up the HE and see if I can shoot him on the side and try and kaboom him, but unfortunately it doesn't penetrate. I only do 100 plus damage. Very disappointed with that. And now the Tiger he's brave enough to push forward. Looks like the game is almost already over. Right now we are leading by 3-4 tanks, so what I want to do is just try to get as much damage as possible before this game is closed out. I do get the spotting damage on this guy, but you notice that I didn't penetrate my first shot onto the roof of the Tiger C turret. Now I'm just going to push forward, go over the top and see if I can get a little bit more damage over here. I'm trying to lock on to this guy, but that fraction bit of a second of aim time that was slow made me miss that shot. I thought I had the aim on him, but I didn't. Now I'm taking damage from 2 tanks. I need to back off because I don't have 6th sense. I need to try to get away from these guys. Even artillery is going to try and finish me off here. Unfortunately, that was the end of the game for me. I've done as much damage as I could have. Now, even though I couldn't aim as quickly as I could, if I did, I would have got maybe another 2 more shots of damage in this tank and probably raised my damage a little bit more. But because I have a 50% crew, that's not going to happen, so I'm going to lose a little bit of damage opportunity there. But unfortunately, that's how the game is. When you have 50% crew, you can't complain much. But let's take a look at the end of the game here. RT, as usual, drowns himself. Our team tries to chase him off, but we don't get any of it. But anyway, that's the way it goes. Game is over. Let's compare the 2 games. This is the second game. I got a 2nd class out of it, but only got 1500 damage out of this game, which is like 700 short of my first game. I also only got maybe half the amount of shots I got out of the first game because I didn't get to shoot as much because I am less aggressive, you could say, because I don't have the 9 skills that I had in the first game. I wasn't wasn't able to be as aggressive as I possibly could have been. Therefore, I couldn't fire as many shells as I did, and therefore didn't land as many shots, didn't get as many penetrating shots, therefore do less damage. Also around 700 less XP for the second game. So when you've got 3 skills, 4 skills, 9 skills, you're gonna get more opportunities, obviously, but definitely a worthy tank to play even if you have no skills. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.